Welcome to the Shred the Spread podcast, your home for all your NFL sports betting needs. I'm your host, Jared. Normally, alongside of me, I have my co-host, Dynell. Unfortunately, he ran into some complications, so we will not have him for the Thursday night episode and the week one preview. But as always, we have to get the content out to you guys, the listeners. I'm excited. Football season is officially here. We survived the offseason. If you guys haven't checked out the AFC and NFC previews, we have went division by division, going over the win totals, the team odds, a few features that we liked and disliked. So make sure you guys go ahead and check those out. Those have all been posted wherever you guys listen to your podcasts. But we're going to dig right into the Detroit Lions traveling to Kansas City to face off Thursday night.
All right, here we go.
So in all likelihood, Deshaun Jackson's going to at least get a return.
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Way down top.
Is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
We do have a book square off. DraftKings is hanging the number 4.5 and FanDuel is hanging the number 5.5. So depending on whatever side that you prefer, you want to shop around for the best numbers, so do so accordingly. But a little bit of housekeeping before we move into the Thursday night game. Dynell and I are going to be switching it up ever so slightly. Instead of us going side by side and choosing our own favorites, we have been invited into a handicap season-long tournament. We pick 5 games a week against the spread for all 17 weeks, and we get 1 bye week. So instead of going head to head or choosing a side, Dynell and I will be combining our brains together to give you guys our 5 favorite picks each week. Even the week that we do take the bye, we would provide 5 picks as if they were our picks, but we unfortunately will not be playing them that week. So we will have to do so accordingly. We will check the weeks and see which one we want to take our bye week, but it's the first week, so we know we're getting some action. Just an FYI, we have a play in this game that is on the contest. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the season-long contest, these lines come out usually 5 to 6 days before the game start, and those lines are locked. So an example, this game is at 6.5 for the contest. So if we decide to play this in the contest, we have it at 6.5. Spoiler alert, we do have a play in this contest. So I will give that just in a few minutes. We're going to go over this game and we're going to try to dissect it. It's the first game. Let's get a couple picks. I do have a long shot parlay provided via Dynell, so I will give that out during this episode. Without further ado, let's get right into Thursday night football. The first game of the week, Detroit Lions in Kansas City. The spread on DraftKings, as I said, is 4.5. FanDuel, it's 5.5. I will, just because I have it in front of me, I'm going to be using the DraftKings odds for the receptions and the props. I would say this game is going to be interesting. It obviously is going to come down. Does Travis Kelce play or not? As soon as we got the Travis Kelce news, I did make a wager on the Lions. I got the line at 6. So this game is definitely going to be a nail biter. I believe the Chiefs win, but I do think it's ever so slightly. I think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes with the ball to end the game, gets his team in field goal range, and they win by a few points, maybe 3. Dynell and I kind of went over some of the props, and we really are targeting David Montgomery. It seems like a lot of the public money is coming in on Gibbs just because of where he was drafted. And neither of us could put our finger on it. It's the first game of the season versus the reigning Super Bowl champions. And we really want to target this defensive line because as of right now, Chris Jones is still holding out. For the last season or two, he's been top 3 defensive tackle, one of the best defensive tackles against the rush. So he is really a key piece in this Kansas City defense. So we're going to go ahead and tackle some rushing props. We like David Montgomery over 52.5 rushing. We also are going to play the David Montgomery rushing and receiving prop over, I believe it's at 65.5 at the time of this recording, just because I do think his rushing prop just seem a tad low just because of the Jahmyr Gibbs draft. Me and Dynell love that prop. That's probably our favorite prop in this game is David Montgomery. We also are taking him to score anytime touchdown plus money on most likely the goal line back for the Lions. I mean, that's awesome value. I'll play that any any day of the week. He's going to see touches. I mean, the total for this game is 53, so there are going to be points. But on the other side of the ball, we like Pacheco rushing over 51.5. The guy is just, he's going to get the ball fed to him. If Travis Kelce is out, I like this even more. This is going to set up the play action for Kadarius Toney. I mean, this team is just going to establish the run, the play action, and they're going to try to make these corners bite and be impatient and beat them downfield. So a lot of these cover 2 defenses, they're going to force Patrick Mahomes to make short reads. So I really think Andy Reid is going to design, some rushing options for Pacheco to get this team cruising downfield. And then maybe we see a couple deep shots. I am taking the Sam Laporta under 3.5 receptions, just a system play, not a high volume guy, not really someone who's highlighted in the offense. So I'm playing the under 3.5. If you can get under 3 at less juice, I do like that as well. But here is Dynell's highly anticipated long shot parlay for Thursday Night Football. Consists of none other than David Montgomery to score 2 touchdowns and Isaiah Pacheco to score 2 touchdowns. Now, both of these numbers are sitting at about plus 800 parlayed together. It's 45-1. So insane value. However, obviously we know Patrick Mahomes gets very nifty and they have a lot of gadget plays around the end zone. So I will say if we do get news that Travis Kelce is out, I do like Pacheco for 2 touchdowns. I like David Montgomery for 2 touchdowns regardless. I do think this is a team that's going to want to establish the run. And David Montgomery, as I said, is the goal line back. With Jamal Williams, one of the fan favorites in Detroit, departing for New Orleans, David Montgomery is going to be the new face. Obviously, you have the kid in town with Jahmyr Gibbs, but David Montgomery jumping ship in the division. I really think he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to prove to the world that he will be the Jamal Williams of this team, the goal line back. Jamal Williams had so many goal line touchdowns last year. Obviously with DeAndre Swift with the nagging injury, he leapt to the front of the force. So I think that's going to be David Montgomery's role. So parlaying those two touchdown players together is 45-1. So that was a little sneak one by Dynell that he found. He really likes that. But I mean, as you guys can tell, David Montgomery is our cash cow in this game. But let's go ahead and get right into the spread. So me and Dynell are playing the Lions at plus 6.5 for the contest. So we have to lock that in by game time on Thursday, obviously. But as of right now, we are playing the Lions at plus 6.5. If that is subject to change, we will do our best to post it on as soon as possible on our Twitter. And our Twitter is at @shredthespread_. If we decide to not play the Lions, if we get some breaking news and Travis Kelce, is ruled in pretty early and we kind of want to go back on it, which it is about a 50-50 shot on that play, just because we want to play the value in the contest. If he does decide to play or it gets ruled in, we may reevaluate that pick. However, as of right now, we do have the Lions at plus 6.5 sitting in our contest queue. So as I said, if that is subject to change, we will post as soon as possible on Twitter. But for the Thursday Night Football game, that's going to wrap it up. So we like Pacheco, we like David Montgomery, we like the Lions on the spread. However, I do believe the Chiefs win this game. I just think it's going to be close. So Dynell and I, as of right now, have the Lions plus 6.5 in the contest. I say we'd probably play this number down to 5.5. If it gets under 5.5, I probably would stay off the spread. For the first game, Thursday Night Football, we have the Chiefs squaring off against the Lions. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us on Twitter at @shredthespread_ and stay on the lookout in case our tournament play or contest play is subject to change. If you are into TikTok, you could also follow us on TikTok at @shredthespread. For the NFL season kicking off, we will be back with the week 1 preview coming out shortly after this episode. So stay tuned. Thanks for listening to this Shred the Spread podcast. Until next time, see ya.